Hi, I'm Dr. Matt, and it's time for some hands-on biology. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. I'm Matt Douglas from Grand Rapids Community College. I'm here with Dr. Dick Bennett. And Dr. Dick, what are we doing today for the veterinarian rounds?
Well, Matt, we're going to biopsy a Pueblan snake, the skin, kind of a chronic dermatologic problem, and also a hairless fruit bat. And we're going to try to find out an exacting diagnosis for those two critters to see if we can help them at all with their skin disease. And then we'll head over to the Red Barn and take a look at some various other things as we're in between those areas.
Okay, so we have a variety of things to do today.
Yeah, we have a variety of things.
Okay, so let's get started.
Okay. First of all, we're gonna anesthetize these animals that so that they don't feel any pain, and we're gonna turn on our little heater here for the table. This is stainless steel, so it really gets pretty cold. And when you're dealing with these little animals, especially the fruit bat, which is warm-blooded, he will certainly lose a lot of body heat on this table. So we'll try to stop that. I tell you what, Heather, do we have the case that
like a bird?
Yeah, like the bird tube, and we'll just fashion us a little face mask for snakes.
So the primary problem with the snake, as I understand it, is that it cannot molt.
Right. See that skin? Mm-hmm. And that's been that way for a long time. And there's some the herpetologist keepers here say that these snakes are so tightly and genetically related that there's some genetic disorders in them in the United States, and that this is seen. And I'd like to find out more about it.
Okay.
And see if
and if this snake cannot molt, what is
he'll die.
He'll die,
Mm-hmm.
and for what reason? It's simply
they can't grow.
They can't.
They're trapped in their skin, and it's just one of those things that isn't very good to have happen.
Okay, so there's no way you can actually peel off.
No, it's not at that point. It's not at that point in the shed where you could do it without injuring the underneath layers.
So this is like a latent genetic thing, you think, where they go through a number of molts and then all of a sudden they simply can't complete the next molt.
Finally, the gene finally turns on, and then this is what happens. Okay. It may be tied in with other genes, maybe, if that's what it is. Genetic diseases are real hard to prove and pinpoint. It takes years and years of breeding to do that.
Okay, Dr. Dick, what are we doing here?
Well, we're fashioning a snake face mask.
Mask.
You can't run down over to Walmart and get one, so we have to make one, and so we're using a little plastic container that houses a syringe, and we're going to use an endotracheal tube adapter in the end, and
so you're grinding it out with a knife, and
yep. So there's our endotracheal tube adapter, so it fits there. Now we're going to stretch a piece of rubber over the end from a rubber glove, make a little hole in it, so the snake's head fits in here.
Oh.
And then he breathes.
Oh, that's great.
The anesthetic, and there's.
So is there a patent on this for you, or?
I have no idea. I think many zoos and many veterinarians and people that work at zoos learn to be very improvising.
Okay. And of course, you have so many different body forms to work on. You can't help it, really. It'd be astronomically expensive if you.
It would be horribly expensive to. I guess you're supposed to sharpen knives periodically. Let me see a pair of scissors. I don't want to just all of a sudden have that thing just go zip. There we go. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, now before we anesthetize them, let's get everything ready.
Okay.
Our little surgical pack. And one thing when you work on cold-blooded animals and warm-blooded animals have to be a lot more careful with because they get all the bacteria that we have on us. And cold-blooded animals tend not to, as do birds. They're so hot that a lot of the bacteria that live on us can't live in a bird. And so there's different seriousnesses of sterility for some of these guys. And this is isoflurane that we have in here.
Now, we've used this before, haven't we?
Yep. Let's use a, do you have a 15? Yeah, let's use that.
Now, does a cold-blooded animal like the snake here require less anesthetic then than...
No, actually it takes quite a bit. And sometimes it's real hard to monitor them. They almost seem dead.
Oh, really?
Because their metabolisms are so slow, their heart rates are slow.
Okay.
And then when you go ahead and do a biopsy on them, they may move around a little bit. I think it's probably more a response to pressure than pain. Now you can feel this table. It makes you want to get right up there and lay down.
Yeah. Boy, on a day like today, this would be perfect. Could take a nap, huh?
It's super. So this is the, you know, the old saying here, red on black,
yes.
venom black,
yeah.
red on yellow will kill a fellow.
Yeah.
So we're okay here.
Maybe we should repeat that for the audience. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that too much in Michigan. But
no, we don't. But down in Florida, you might.
Yeah.
Little coral snakes, members of the, I believe, the cobra family.
Well, I know in Australia, a huge number of the snakes there are poisonous. Like 60% of them are.
Yeah, there's some of the worst in the world are there.
But he looks like he's going out a bit.
Yeah, he's starting to feel the effects of it. What's bad when they crawl all the way through here.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But through this manner, we can handle venomous snakes too, because you see, once you got their head in there,
it's pretty well trapped.
Nothing they can do about it.
So now, how old is this snake? Do you have any idea?
I don't, but
I think about 10 years old.
10 years, okay.
I have to wear one of these things.
I should wear one
yeah,
too?
Yeah, you should certainly.
Okay, that's so cute.
It's the latest, the bonnet is. It's the latest in fashion.
Is that how you do that?
Yeah. Dashing.
Okay. We don't do this for caterpillars, you know.
We're just going to dab the skin with a little betadine antiseptic, let it sit for a minute, and then Heather's going to get a little Proline suture material so we can close the skin up, and then we will get right at this.
So how big a section will you actually take out of it?
Just very small, you know, just a little
Size
piece
of a-
about like that.
Oh, okay. Size of a thumbnail then?
Yeah. And since this is pretty well disseminated from one end of the snake to the other, if you're biopsying skin, it's nice to get it the border where abnormal, normal meet. And the pathologist looks right along that line of the normal, abnormal line, and that's where the most activity is for them to make a diagnosis.
I see.
Okay. I'll have the 3-aught gut. Or actually here, I'll tell you what, we can just use this. We'll use, since we want it to last for a while. Snakes heal slow, so we leave the sutures in quite a bit longer than you do in a mammal. And sometimes they're in them for a month or more.
Wow, really? That's an incredibly long time.
Yeah. This is the years of knitting and sewing comes in handy.
Yeah, really it does. She looks pretty quiet now.
Okay, Heather, if you will just soak that with a little betadine right in here. We'll take it right up in the...
There you go.
You have to watch Heather. She's a killer.
She's a wild woman.
Okay. It's probably going to move when we do this, so.
So now the skin of the snake is relatively thin?
No,
no?
not really.
Pretty heavy duty?
It's pretty heavy duty. These scissors will have a little. Okay, where'd that go? There it is. Thank you. You can see his muscle and fascia right underneath there.
Yeah, that's great. Get a nice close-up of that. And if this snake is diagnosed with a presumed genetic disorder, what will happen at that point?
Well, then he probably isn't going to make it. He probably isn't going to be able to live. Mm-hmm. And 'cause so far, there's not a lot of things you can do for gene therapy in these guys.
Does this mean that the population of these snakes throughout the country all suffer from a similar demise then, or no?
The herpetology people will have to tell you that.
Okay.
What do you?
I think they said, yeah.
The whole population, yeah.
I think the captive population, because they came from about 5 individuals.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know about the population in the wild.
The skin is very dry feeling and very non-pliable. It's really, I mean, I've done
tough
surgery on snakes before, and this is really tough stuff. We can turn that gas down, I think, Heather. Yeah. Just squirt the bag out. What we tie when we tie these knots, you tie square knots, because granny knots tend to come untied on their own, and square knots don't come untied.
And how many stitches will you put in there then?
I think probably just these 3. Okay. That's it. Okay.
And then another month you pull those out? Is that what?
Right now. Yep. See, his tongue is sticking out.
Oh, yeah.
It's fairly narcotized.
Yeah, I guess so.
No.
That happens to me too.
Yeah, I know. There. Thank you.
So now we'll wait the pathologist to report?
Yep, we'll wait for the pathologist to give us the report and see all these scales that have just
Yeah,
come
they've fallen off.
That,
Quite a number of them.
yeah, the pathologist will get it tomorrow. Actually, stuff goes from here to Lansing in one night.
So is this at Michigan State University then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So they have an entire pathology lab for animals of all species?
All species. I mean, they're all set up to handle, you know, I mean, if we were to have a bioterrorist problem, MSU is all set up for all the pathology of it and to check it all out so we can zero in on it. They do all the work for the Michigan Department of Agriculture, pretty much.
I think you mentioned the last time that some animals serve as sentries, so to speak, for, you know, bioterrorism type of things.
Yeah, we have sentry animals that will trigger, you know, will show things before anything else does. I mean, when I was in college, I worked on a project and sponsored by the Atomic Energy Commission, and they wanted to know what would be an early detector of radioactive fallout. Well, diatoms, little algaes are the very earliest, and they pick it up real quick. And so that's a good spot to find it.
Oh, yeah. Now, our next patient is going to be...
Well, there it is.
Artihia jamacensis from Jamaica.
Here's our buddy.
Okay, here's our little fruit bat.
Yeah.
Our little big fruit bat.
Okay.
And
Can you just tell me if I'm
it's got really decent claws, huh?
Yes, decent claws, but even more so, decent teeth. You want to hold this? Control it while I can just see if I can get him like this. There. Gotcha. There.
And now the problem with the bats here is that they are losing their hair on their backs?
Yes.
Or all over? Ooh.
And we're not really sure why this is happening. We've treated some with thyroid. You know, obviously this is such a small little animal that it is difficult to do any blood work with them. And we might just want to, we'll see how we do there.
And are these bats in the wild, does anybody know if they're restricted entirely to fruits, or do they take insects as well that might be in the fruits, or no?
I know that they, I really don't know.
Because they have incredible teeth and claws. It looks
Yep.
like, you know, they would rip anything apart that's on the fruit as well.
I know that in India, the big fruit bats, if they zoom into an orchard, they'll devastate it, a citrus orchard.
Really?
They'll just eat everything right out.
So obviously that doesn't make them very popular, does it?
No, I don't think so. But
these are little,
these are just little guys.
but they have incredibly sharp teeth.
Yes, they do. And boy, I'll
And
tell
look
you.
at the size of those claws.
Yeah,
Those are like dinosaur claws almost.
yeah, they are.
Deinonychus would be happy with those.
Yeah.
But they're fairly long-lived, aren't they?
About 20 years.
20 years, that's good. I mean, that's better than the gerbil.
I think they've been here about 8 years total.
8 years?
The species, but like you said, we've had a couple shipments, and we can't tell, there's no way to individually identify them, so we can't tell
Oh,
which
okay. So we
shipment
wanna
this
use this?
particular one is
You
from.
might want to.
Okay, and so now this is just a recent development with the hair loss in the
We had
back?
that problem before, this bat just has not been doing real well.
Oh, okay.
In addition to the hair loss, it was kind of lethargic and not doing real well. So
okay.
she was pulled off exhibit, and so now we're going to check about the hair loss.
Okay.
Here's my little sweet thing.
Now the skin of this bat is considerably thinner than that of the
Much.
snake.
You will see how thin it is. Oh, way in there, are we?
And that bat can see us very well, correct?
Yes. He can hear us.
Is that, yeah. They have a face only a mother could love.
They do, don't they? Okay, let's see if that. How are we doing? Is he breathing okay? Okay, let's just lay him right on here. I think he's kind of out, isn't he? Okay, Heather, watch that. Yeah, turn that down to about 2 and vacate the bag and put some. Let me get this over with for him.
There isn't much to them, is there?
No, they're so small. It's really,
Yeah. And their wings have all the bones of our arms and hands.
yeah.
That's the most awesome thing, is that they're...
And there's so little known about them.
Yeah.
You know, as far as special little things about bats, there's just so little known about these guys.
Yet, you know, they're colonial, and they take really good care of their young. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's a number of bat species I know that
You have the gut here?
when they, if they lose a parent, another parent will take over the babies.
Really?
Yeah. It's just amazing
got 3
what these guys will
guts,
do.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're almost nicer than humans sometimes.
I guess so.
Wow, that is thin.
Yeah.
So now you're going to put a few stitches in this too?
Yeah.
And this is going to be a very, very fine...
This is 3/0 chromic gut.
1.5, John.
But there's just nothing to them, is there?
No, I just a very fragile little skin.
And of course, if they lose their hair, since they have a really high metabolic rate, they're going to, you know, they can get chilled quickly.
Very quickly.
So losing your hair as a bat is an important thing.
Yeah. And they're kind of poikilothermic animals, actually, in that they, at rest, become cold-blooded, and during activity periods become warm-blooded, and that's why rabies can last for so long in these guys.
Oh, okay.
Is the virus, when they become cold, the virus slows its replication down and doesn't progress, so they can live a long time with rabies in them as compared to other mammals. And that's what makes.
But really, the incidence of rabies in these things is really low.
Oh yeah, rabies across the world is really low. It's not. It's just a horrifying disease. That's all.
But when you compare it to, say, SARS virus or
Yeah.
chicken flu or all the upcoming viruses, it's pretty small stuff.
Yeah. Really not in the realm of things.
It's just one of those fear factor things.
Yeah, I think it's a fear factor thing, and you could see the fear of it is they don't even treat people with it.
Right. Yeah.
They're afraid of you. Okay.
Well, you can see his heart's pumping away there
Yeah,
pretty
he's
well.
breathing. He's breathing and
Yeah.
breathing fast. So we'll.
Lungs are filling up.
Yeah.
And now this is going to Michigan State University as well? Or?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like one-stop shopping there.
It
isn't
is. We can stick them right back in there. Oh, hello, buddy.
You need a blanket for him. Of course, you'll probably get all balled up in the blanket.
Pretty warm there. We'll keep him right on this warm thing until it. If you have to anesthetize them, get them down, get it done, get them up real as quickly as possible. Because the longer an animal is anesthetized, the greater the opportunity is for the depression of their physiology and death.
Right. So get in and get out. None of this 4-hour heart surgery stuff,
No,
right?
no. How we doing?
He is breathing pretty regularly, that looks like. Don't you think?
Isn't breathing as regularly as I would like to see him. Every breath, he breathes the anesthetic out of him. See if it's. I'm going to grab my stethoscope and listen to him. Yeah, it's still pounding away.
He's just really induced, huh? And their hearts beat, what, 120 beats a minute, or must be really fast. Oh, he's yeah. She's coming back.
And thing about the bat caves, some veterinarians died from rabies studying the bats in bat caves without ever having been bit. So they were never bitten. So they found out that rabies could be transmitted through the urine via aerosol.
Oh, really? So just breathing in aerosol or guano, maybe? No, not guano.
Okay, let's see how this little pumpkin does now.
Yeah, she's doing all right, looks like. She's just really out.
See if there's something physiologic about hanging them up from their feet.
I know there is for me.
Yeah, there's certainly. Still feel cold.
So what do we have here?
It's a little white-lined gecko who's had an abscessed hemipene, which is part of their reproductive system, and we'll get you.
Oh, yes.
We'll get you a picture of it right here. If you take close up, you can see where it's opened right out and abscessing out. But
Now,
this
why is this? Is this
oh, you got an infection in there. Yeah. Let's see if we get
any
any
idea? You're going to
pus out of it
push
or
this
anything.
abscess then?
Yeah, we're just.
That looks pretty huge.
Yeah, well, it's big. It's a tough spot to have it. Be like us having probably a major hemorrhoid. It's just keep washing that.
It seems to be doing well.
Yeah, it looks good.
It appears that it's healing. And
Yeah, it looks good,
looks
and I'm
clean
not
and-
getting any pus out of it.
Right.
So no, so that's
Can we
good.
show them their feet a little bit?
Sure.
Because they have this incredible way of bonding to anything that's even
Yep.
like glass or plastic, and they can walk right up those things. And there's no adhesive there or anything. It's
No,
simply a
it's-
physical effect of those feet.
Yep.
Yeah, those are just amazing feet.
And he will bite you.
And
so.
this will not sell us insurance, isn't that?
This,
just
you
told
know,
me that?
no, he's not going to sell us
No
any insurance. Yeah, I told him my car's fine. Yeah. They're an interesting little.
This one actually hatched out in our bat exhibit.
Really?
Yeah, we kept the parents in there, and then one day one of the keepers found just a tiny little gecko.
Oh.
And they had laid eggs in that exhibit, and he hatched out.
Yeah, they make a weird sound, too. It's kind of like almost a little dog barking.
Yeah,
isn't
it is. Yeah,
Like that.
a little squeak or
It
squawk.
kind of scares you because it's like, oh, what's that?
Yeah,
It's cute.
that's coming. They take a long time to heal. That's
Do they?
the most reptiles. It's all
Yeah,
just ages
Oh, really?
to get them to heal up. I guess Mother Nature, you know, they have animals that have high birth rates,
Right.
have high death rates.
Right?
And reptiles have high birth rates, and so they have a fairly high death rate.
They make up for it.
Yeah, and so we like to, but for us, we and we only have one or two or three
Yeah.
of something, we want to step right in and stop that.
Right.
So,
So, Dick, we're back and we're looking at a little bat here. Are we doing well? Have we survived? And
looks like we're doing real good. That his little nose is twitching up and down, as you can see it there.
Oh, yeah.
And doing just fine.
So she gets the rest of the day off.
She gets the day off, and it probably gets a special treat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really have a name here, is it?
No, when you name animals and give them human names, it tends to kind of anthropomorphize them. You need to respect them for the species that they are, not that they, as a person or something like that.
Well, Dick, once again, I want to thank you for helping us. It's always a pleasure, and I hope we can do this again really
That's
soon.
great, Matt. Thanks a lot for coming.